every organization runs in invisible architecture. We have our roles, we have our rules, we have our structures, we have our organizational setup. But to make those most successful and utilize the people inside this architected setup in the best way, we should look into two parts in the SCARF model a little bit more in depth. We have the certainty. When we spoke about certainty in the context of psychological safety, we were talking about that we should know which kind of behaviors that we can expect when we are doing certain things. In the context of structure, the certainty lives within the rules and rules. If I know what's expected from me in my playground, that is also when I know when I can be flexible enough to step aside or step outside. I will come back to that. When we are talking about autonomy in the context of structures, that is really this with I know my rules, I know my playground, but I have the autonomy enough to utilize all my skills, knowledge, and also my intellect to take my own decisions. To take my own decisions, they're saying that, okay, in this setup, I need to bend a little bit within my rules and rules. So that is the part from the SCARF model that is essential to look into when we are talking about structures in an organization. And it's coming back to this with feeling that you are utilizing your human capital in the best way in your setup. Because the human capital is the most important part that you have within the organization. It's also when we have those things in place that I know my rules, my role and my roles. I know that is also when I really can find innovation and creativity within my field. Coming back to the purpose of rules then, it's not only for the sake of me, it's also when I know that, okay, who am I, what am I supposed to do, but I also know who are you, what are you supposed to do, and then I can see that, okay, how can we connect together to make a coherent as possible path towards our North Star. It's getting a little bit fluffy here in the structure, and that is actually what it is about. The structure is there to be able for you to bend on the system. Just as when we are setting up plans, we don't have a plan to be able, or in the sake of following it in a rigid way. We have the plans to be able to know, okay, when should I step aside and do something else, and and what happens if I do that. It's the same thing with this organizational setup. So I want to leave you with this, and we will dig a little bit deeper into it in the reflection later on. But I want to leave you with, as long as you know the structure, the rules in your organization, that is also when you can start to bend it. And that is also when you get this plasticity that is needed for you, for your growth.